Put me on Spirit, exit row, window seat. That's all I need. Long as I get from point A to point B. I don't need private.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. And today's episode is sponsored by Ochocinco. And the guy that's stopping by for conversation, he doesn't drink and water today, is a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's named 4 times first team All-Pro. Led the league in receiving in 2006. He was voted the #1 receivers on the Bengals anniversary team. That'll be short-lived because the 50th will be Jamar Chase. A member of the 10,000-yard receiving club, Chad Ochocinco.
I like that. That is a great introduction. Matter of fact, do it again.
Okay, he's a 6-time Pro Bowler. He was named 4 All-Pro teams, led the NFL in receiving yards in 2006. He was voted #1 receivers of the Bengals' 40th anniversary team. On the 50th anniversary team, he would be #2 because Jamar Chase will be #1. Member of the 10,000-yard receiving club, Chad Ochocinco Johnson.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
What is Ochocinco doing currently?
Currently, living life, enjoying life, doing some of the things I wasn't able to do when I was playing, being a full-time father, being a dad, one of the dopest feelings in the world that I didn't know what it actually felt like until the game was removed. Right. Picking up from school, dropping off from school, somebody in trouble or having to go in, parent-teacher conference, dance recitals, track meets, man, all that fun stuff that a father's able to do when he doesn't have a job that requires you, responsibilities like that. So, man, I'm enjoying. Just had another angel, another baby angel. So now I know what it's like to be up at 3, 4 in the morning, bottle feeding, burping. I love it.
Well, I want to say congratulations on the engagement. You just mentioned that you got a newbie. What's it like? Because like you said, when you played football, and you love your kids, but the #1 responsibility kind of got to be football for you to be your absolute best. Now there is no football. It's been removed, and all the focus is on that baby. What's that feeling like?
I like it. I like it because I never knew what it felt like to be a full-time father. Yes, I was there financially. It wasn't enough. It's never enough. And obviously, I didn't do things a traditional way, so I have multiple kids, but I was able to balance everything even while I was still playing, keep everybody together as one unit, and everything was flowing smoothly to now that I am done playing. I've inserted myself in full-time and just there with all the kids and able to make kids in college now. I'm able to make football games, track meets, daughter going to LSU. So it's just the fact that I was able to make it work is crazy when I sit down and think about it. And I think about people that only have one child and they're having issues and they're having problems. And you calling me for advice. And I don't know, it's weird.
So you mentioned that you didn't have it the traditional way because you have kids, multiple relationships. How were you able to get the parents to like, look, I love all these kids. I love them the same. It's not an ideal situation. How do you get them on board? I think because that's what you got to do. The kids are fine.
Yeah, the kids are fine.
Get mom
but
on board.
You know what the key was? Is the people that I have kids from are people that I knew before I even made it.
Okay.
So for one, their motives was organic. It was authentic. It was me. It had nothing to do with what I brought to the table.
They weren't looking at monetary gain.
Nah, they wasn't. Now, once you make it in individuals, it's always about what you can do. And what you got. So I was fortunate to deal with individuals and have, obviously, kids from them before I made it. And I think that made everything smooth because there was no ill will. It was about the child. And if you needed help, all you gotta do is pick up the phone. And you know you're good. You know you're good and you're set for life. And that, to me, that is a great feeling instead of some wanting to live a certain purpose, have a certain image, and look a certain way because no, I don't have that. And I was very fortunate because I dealt with those and had kids, for those before I made it. I was lucky, very lucky.
How do you balance Ochocinco and dad? Because they see the free spirit and it's like, but we don't see him. We don't see him like that. We see dad. And people come up to you want an autograph. People want to take a picture. But all they see is that's my dad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the older kids are used to it. Obviously, the older kids, those that are in high school and college, my son at Arizona State, he's used to it. My daughter's at Prairie View A&M, she's used to it. My daughter going there, they're all used to it.
Which daughter runs that I saw coming up, the 13, 14-year-old running the 800 meters?
Mocha.
Is that one
Mocha.
going to LSU?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're all used to it. The young kids, when someone asks to take a picture, they just get in the picture. they get in the picture like, oh, it's for us,
right.
and I make sure they're able to enjoy that moment as well. Yeah,
that's a great feeling because my kids didn't like that. Because they didn't get a whole lot of time because, like you said,
right,
it was football.
Yeah,
and so I only had a finite period of time with them, and so there's like especially my oldest daughter and my son, kind of to a lesser degree, was like, nah, this is our time. This is my day. We're not taking pictures today. But for your kids to embrace it, that's great.
See, I think mine are a little different because of my personality.
Yeah.
And I'm so outgoing.
Right.
When I'm meeting people, I'm acting like I've known you for 30, 40 years. I don't know you, never met your damn life. So they feed off of that energy, and I think that's why they're okay.
Were you always a free spirit? Were you always this outgoing as a child, as a young man before you
getting in trouble in school? I was listen, in the yearbook, Miami Beach Senior High, I never forget, 1996, I was voted class clown.
Okay.
And I was always
you
a free spirit. No, I mean, at that time, no, but that was my personality.
Right.
They said class clown.
Right.
It was just my personality.
Right.
No different. Like when you get to the NFL, they call you a diva.
Right.
I wasn't a diva. I just chose not to conform to your ways, and I had a personality about myself. That's it. I done nothing malicious.
So when you go back and look, okay, because all the senior superlative, you got Mr. Senior, most likely to succeed, most outgoing. Now, when you go back and look, the class clown probably turned out to be the most
likely to succeed, because the person who was most likely to succeed didn't succeed.
Right.
They went to jail for fraud. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Man, okay, you say you're not traditional. Obviously, I don't know your fiance, but I'm assuming she's going to want a wedding. Is this going to be a destination wedding? Is it going to be a traditional wedding?
Yeah, it's going to be a traditional. Now, my values have changed.
Okay.
This is what happened when you meet the right person in life. This is what happens.
I'm all ears,
Listen, bro. When you meet the right people in life, some of your thinking changes at times. Okay. So I thought to myself, I'll probably never do this again. But then in life, it's all about having a foundation and discipline.
Right.
If you have discipline, that's one thing. But you found that if you find that foundation to build off of, and then insert that discipline, anything is possible.
Right.
And I found someone that I can build that foundation off. And now that I'm a lot older and the discipline is a lot better, this shit finna work. Oh shit, I cursed.
You good, bro.
I'm
you good. No. But how did you find this person that didn't see Ochocinco, saw Chad Johnson, saw the kid from the humble beginning that worked his tail off to become what he became, that she doesn't see the peripheral stuff, she sees the man inside?
I think one thing you can't do is that stuff matters anyway. She can always see Chad Johnson.
Okay.
She can always see what he can do, but also that individual has the same upbringing as I do.
Okay.
You come from Phoenix City, Alabama.
Okay.
You come from nothing.
Right.
In the church like I was growing up. And it was an instant connection. The Wi-Fi was perfect when we first met, obviously understanding where she came from and how she got to where she is. She had the same work ethic like I do.
Okay.
I like that. Assets versus liabilities. You understand who you're dealing with.
Right.
It's an asset. Everything else is a liability. Right. But you're blinded. We as men are blinded by what we see, the physical attraction.
Right.
So when you dig a little deeper into it, I'm like, okay, ooh, bitch, excuse me. God damn it, it's the one.
Yeah.
I'm talking like we in a barbershop.
You knew that.
Every time, ladies, fellas, when you listen to this, anytime you meet somebody, what you meet is their representative.
Oh, okay.
Every time.
They send the person out there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When you fill out, when you fill out your resume, you put your best foot forward, don't you?
You dress your best, absolutely.
Oh yeah. It's never the real person. But we went to dinner, first date. I'm at McDonald's. We had to drive through.
Huh?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yes.
And she was cool with that?
Man, listen, she started ordering before I even pulled up to the thing. Let me get oh, this is it.
Okay.
Listen, listen. That was it. Man, sorry, I was in love. I was in love a little too early, but then just
did you have to start slow? Like, damn, I'm moving too fast. I got to slow this thing down.
Yeah, slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Slow down a little bit, because I had to pump my brakes, because I thought about, listen, anytime you meet someone, it is their representative, because you want to put your best foot forward.
Correct.
But they was straightforward, man, this is me. Honestly, the one thing that kind of scared me that she said was when we met was, listen, I don't even need you.
Ooh!
I actually want you. And based on what she had going on in life, she was in a position of power to say stuff like that.
Has a woman ever told you that before?
No. That's scary.
It hit different, didn't it?
Yeah, it hit different. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No. I didn't like it. But I've never heard that before. And the fact to have someone in a position of power in their own right.
And you know she didn't really need you.
At all. Not at all. And that was scary. So what you want me for? What you want me for? And then she broke down why, and that's a whole nother story. But that was nice.
I don't need you.
That was I don't need you. I mean, with the ugly face too.
Yeah.
Look me up and down, cause you know I ain't.
I like what you said. You said you found someone as an asset, because it's only two things you can be. You can be an asset or you can be a bill. Now, which one are you?
One a lesson or a blessing. You could be a lesson or a blessing. It's one or the other. No matter who you deal with in life.
How big, knowing your personality and knowing you do everything gigantic, gargantuan, how big is the wedding gonna be? You want 50? You want an intimate wedding, or do you want something that the networks want to pick up and says, Ochocinco gets married?
You know, it's not even about me.
It's about her.
It's about what she wants. And from my understanding, she's always wanted the wedding. She's wanted a dream wedding, and I'm going to give her that. And I said, we can have this dream wedding as long as we can be in the Bahamas. And can I have?
So you want a destination wedding?
Yeah, but that ain't that far. I mean, Miami to Bahamas is 20 minutes. Is. That ain't much of a destination.
But you got to get everybody else to the Bahamas.
That's fine. That's fine. But I said, as long as we can have it in the Bahamas.
Okay.
I can come in on a white horse. Hey, listen, I got to come in on my horse now. Listen.
So you with some linen pants. You come to the white horse, linen pants.
No linen. I'm white.
You're gonna be traditional. So
I don't even know my colors.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have on the tux.
Okay.
And I said the Junkanoo. You know about Junkanoo?
I don't.
In Bahamas, it's like Carnival. It's a festival they always have. Okay. There's a certain Junkanoo in the Bahamas called the Valley Boys. Okay. And I need the Valley Boys to close out the reception.
Okay.
I got Kiki Wyatt.
Wow.
I got live band. I got Brian McKnight, and open bar. You coming too now?
Oh, you invite me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, most definitely. Open bar.
It needs to be in the summer when I got vacation time.
Listen, bring Fox. Bring Fox. Listen, this is a family affair.
Hold on. You have 8 kids. You just had a newbie. Are you done with kids, or are you trying to catch Nick Cannon?
No.
I mean,
it's I'm done. It ain't. See, I think people fail to realize is I was Nick Cannon before Nick Cannon. I was Future before Future.
Yeah, you were. Okay.
Sometimes I don't get upset, but I'm like, why don't never lump me in? But I'm so active with mine, and you see me with mine all the time. All of them. When we go somewhere, we all go as one little army. Right. So I'm never lumped into that category. But like I understand there's a reason. There's a method to the madness behind what Nick is doing.
Right.
We don't know what it is.
Right.
He hasn't expressed what it is, but he's doing it for a reason. My reason was, during those times when I was younger, I wanted athletic children.
Right.
So therefore, I dated those who had an athletic background.
Right. So so a lot of people go for aesthetics.
Oh.
Chad Johnson says, I want if I have boys or girls, I want them to be able to play basketball, football, like if they play track, I'll play softball, whatever it is. I want little athletes.
Listen, I need to see, what did you do in high school? Did you cheer? Did you play volleyball? Did you run track?
Right.
Did you do
softball,
anything athletic?
Soccer?
Do you have footage of anything? Then you check the ankles. You laughing. You're laughing.
You're crazy.
Listen, the most important foundation in any sport you play is your what? Your footwork.
Yeah.
Your footwork. If you ain't got the foundation and have the proper
small ankles?
Yeah, I mean, something, you gotta be right. You can't have cankles. Then you got men these days, you go after these beautiful women.
Yeah.
You go on dates to these 5-star restaurants. Nah, go to Dave & Buster's. See about a lateral movement. Can she run? Can she move? Then you have kids and you wonder why they got 2 left feet and they get picked last in PE. Huh? Because you're going for aesthetics. Yeah, she's gorgeous. But when you have a kid, then what?
Right.
I'm not raising models.
Right.
I don't want no model.
Right.
I don't care how fine you are. Can you run the 40? How is your lateral movement? Can you jump?
How is it at 45 having a child? Because like you mentioned, you got kids in college, you got kids in high school. So it's a lot different having a child in your 20s as opposed to having a child in your 40s.
But I'm 45, but I'm really 25.
Right.
I take care of myself.
Have you always been patient? Because I think the number one thing for kids or with anything is patience.
That's a good one, yeah. Patience.
You've always been patient?
Always been patient, always have. And a lot of people say, well, kids are expensive. And I always tell them, if you follow me, obviously I'm one of the most financially conscious athletes of all time, probably the cheapest. It's not, you can choose.
I like to use the term fiscally responsible.
Fiscally responsible. I think people say kids are expensive. Well, I think it's what you choose to buy.
Right.
Because there are different variations of everything.
Right.
And I just picked the cheapest one.
Right.
Until the child knows the difference between the two. By that time, they're old enough to work and get it for themselves.
Right. How important was it for you? Because I think the number one thing, you getting married at age, you having kids, is the significant other, be it man or woman, be accepting of the other's kids.
Yeah.
How important was that to you? And how accepting was she of that?
Very important. It was very important. I think she also has kids, so the blended family thing is very important. Yeah, the blended family is very important in making sure everything meshes well. Not only that it meshes well between us, but also the other parties involved as well that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's everything has worked out fine. There have been no issues. There have been no problems. There won't be any issues, and there won't be any problems because I think I'm very easygoing. I'm very easy to deal with on all matters, all topics, and all aspects of life. So I think we'll be fine.
Do you feel like you got to make up for lost time because you had a football career? You wasn't able to do the recitals and the practices and the parent-teacher conferences when you were playing. Now you have the time. Do you feel like it's like, I got to be there?
I got to make up, and that's how I feel. And that I don't want to say is guilt, but I was able to provide them with a life.
Right.
A certain life financially. Now I want to provide them with a life of having a father full time and actually being there. And you might say, well, how do you do it? Easy. If I got to be in Arizona for a game, get on the plane. If I got to be in Louisiana for a track meet, get on the plane. I can be at multiple places at once. It's really easy. A lot of people overthink things and don't understand anything you want to do in life is possible, no matter what it is. That's when people make excuses. It's like, stop. If it's important enough to you, you can make it happen.
You mentioned earlier about your spending and like you're very fiscally responsible. You're very conscious of what you spend it on and how much you're spending. Have you always been like that?
Always. You got to remember, I stayed at the stadium the first 2 years. I didn't want to spend no money.
Right.
What's the point?
Why
are you telling Marvin gonna come third year? Why are you telling me go rent a house, go buy a house, go rent a condo, when everything I need is right here in the facility at Paul Brown?
Right.
Showers, cafeteria, TV, couch, gaming system. What's the point? What's the point? And I was so locked in, it wasn't about having my own space and having women come.
What about the dating life? How you gonna bring somebody?
For what? I'm locked in. I'm a rookie. I ain't got time. Date for what? Date for what? I needed that 1 year lock in, catch the rhythm. My second year, I caught the rhythm. I caught the rhythm of the game.
Right.
I felt like, okay, I got it now.
Because I think a third year I came and I did a sit down with you in your place.
Yeah. At that point, okay, I got it now. I was good. And that's when Marvin came in and also said, now it's time for you to be responsible, spread your wing, get your own place. So listen, I moved right down the street. One Lido place, I'll never forget. One little bedroom.
You mentioned that you're fiscally responsible. Is there anything that you purchase you like, I wish I had done that. That was the waste of my effing money.
Probably some of the cars, maybe in year 4, but it
all those donk Chevys?
Yeah. The high-end vehicles. But I didn't purchase it. I leased everything.
Right.
Bugatti, Ferrari, I did it all.
Right.
But the funny thing about it is I got to a point in my career, and I wish people, athletes more so, if you can get to a point in your career where your name becomes bigger than anything you can purchase, there's your value.
Wow.
My name itself, Ochocinco at one point, even still to this day, is bigger than, why am I driving a Ferrari? Why am I driving a Rolls Royce and I'm Ocho? Oh, we talk about jewelry and watches and chains.
But you already had, but see the thing is you already had, it's easy for you to do that now, Ocho, because you had the jewelry, you had the car.
No. Never bought real anything when I was playing. Never, what was the point? I went to Claire's.
So also all you do?
Yes, for what? What am I doing it for? The women gonna deal with you anyway because of who you are.
Right.
And then the other women who really doing their homework, don't Google how much you're making already.
Right.
Why am I buying a $50,000 watch, $80,000 watch? What time is it real quick? Please?
It's 20 minutes to 4.
How much that cost me?
It ain't cost you nothing.
Because time is free. So what I'm paying for?
Right.
For what? I'm Ocho. What's the point?
Right.
There's nothing I can buy that's bigger than my name alone. So it made no sense. But everybody's caught up in image and looking a certain way and being rich. It's me. It's pointless.
How do you express that to your kids when they know who you are? They know what you have.
That's the hard part. Is getting them to have that mindset I have, because they ain't cutting it. With the missus, oh, she ain't having it. Them 8.5 carats, oh, that's real.
Right.
Anything I purchase for her is real. It's real. Yeah. So the kids, I allow them to do the designer and the nice stuff, because I done saved what, 83% of my salary. So it's okay, and I have stuff coming in already. Oh yeah, still coming in. Thank you, Dougie. You know, and so life is good because I was able to sustain and keep most of my wealth that I made when I was playing, and life is still going good. So I allow the kids to enjoy, but I need them to understand there's gonna come a time.
They gotta get off daddy payroll.
You go ahead to get off that payroll. But for right now, I will always be there for them, no matter what they want.
Right.
Long as you don't try to live a lifestyle that you know you can't afford.
Right.
You can't do that. Yeah. I'm gonna let you enjoy yourself now.
Right. You went viral for wearing the same outfit on the trip.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think I heard you pack. You maybe it was soccer, and you packed like 3 outfits, and you're there for like 2 weeks.
That's it. That's all you need.
Like a couple of pair of drawers.
That's it.
A couple of t-shirts and a pair of shorts.
That's all you need. I took all blended family.
Right.
We all went to the Bahamas for New Year's.
Okay.
So the kids, I know they like to look nice. You know the young kids these days, man. Okay, we're gonna all go to Amiri. So I took all the kids to Amiri, all of them. Everybody got an outfit, everybody got shoes. I got my little outfit. Price tag, $23,000.
Huh?
Ooh, $23,000. Remember, it's 8 of us now. Amiri ain't cheap.
Hold up. So what did they put back?
Ain't put nothing back. This is the one-time thing. It's the holidays. Yeah, $23,000. So boom. Okay, I understood what I just paid for all this stuff for the kids. So we're gonna have a good time. We stayed at Atlantis. I ain't take that Amiri off the whole trip. I took me a shower. I took me a shower each day, changed underwear, put a new tank top on, and put that shit right back on. You know what I paid for this? I don't care who see me, so I made my own personal video letting people know you probably gonna see me over and over in the same outfit. Let me give you
let me help you understand why.
And I always do that all the time. Dude, I shop at H&M. Look, this whole outfit, this cost me $60. It's Urban Outfitters. And it's from the sale rack. It's a Levi's jacket and some Dickies that's cut off like I'm a skateboarder. I don't skate. But I look good.
Yeah. So that's your whole thing.
And I've always been this way. So you can't, the people on the outside that might be new to who I am now that are a little older don't understand. I've been this way the past 20, 25 years.
So you're not gonna let society shape Ochocinco's idea of who he is or what he should be?
Never. I've never been that way because I don't need validation from nobody on the outside. Never have, and that's another. That's
give you validation, you straight. The kids give you validation, that's dad, we good.
And some of the time they make fun of me, so I don't really need validation from me either. You know, but that's another downfall for us too.
Right.
That's another downfall in society. We always need validation and acceptance from others.
I'm watching you, and I see a lot of times when you go to restaurants, you leave enormous amount of tips.
Always.
You'll leave $500, you'll leave $1,000, $2,000.
Always.
When did that start and why?
That started when I made it. When I made it, probably my rookie year. Obviously, I didn't have social media in the earlier time back then, but society, we are monkey see, monkey do. Every time there's a trend on TikTok, what does everybody else try to do?
Try to do that, copy that trend.
Same thing. So that message, and I always say Proverbs 11:25, behind every message, when I lead those tips, to get other people doing it. Other athletes have started doing it as well. People around different states have started doing it as well, because if there's a trend y'all need to pick up on, that's the one. And being able to give back to your workers in those environments who aren't paid at times a livable wage. And that's just one of the things I always do.
You get a meal, the meal costs for your blended family, let's just say it costs $150. You go 10 times, 15 times over what the meal actually costs. That person comes up to you, hugs you, probably is crying. What does that do for Ocho?
I know whatever it is they got going on becomes a little bit easier, because I don't know everybody's story.
Right.
But I understand the places I'm going and where they work, that they're not being paid a livable wage. So I'm trying to give them some breathing room every time I step out, anywhere I go. And I don't dine in 5-star restaurants.
Right.
You know, that's not me. That's not what I do.
Right.
Now at times when me and the missus want to go out and have somewhere nice, then I have to up the ante on the tip.
Right.
That's where you see the 2,000 sometimes.
Right.
You know, but it's just always been something I've always done. And people are lucky I don't have the type of wealth like a Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like that, because I'd
really
be adding,
changed some lives.
What? Listen, I'd be adding the extra zero. But I haven't been blessed to that point yet. Maybe one day it might come.
It's coming. Did you really bet the entire World Cup salary on a FIFA game?
I did. I'm the best FIFA player in the world.
And I see you got something going on now that you're going up the cool kick.
I did that yesterday. I went 11-3.
You won 11-3?
When I went 11-3. 3 people won, but they were the rest they lost. I did it all the time. I mean, everybody knows I'm a huge gamer. Always been a huge gamer.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that have also kept me out of trouble and keeping me out the streets. I don't club, I don't go out, I don't drink. So to fill that void of what everyone else enjoys doing, that time is spent gaming.
You've never been a clubber?
Nah, because I don't even drink alcohol.
Right.
And then being around people that do drink, they start talking. And they hold 5 conversations in one, and then I'm lost.
Right.
Because you talk about one thing, now you talk about something, and I can't do it.
Right.
Then don't step on my shoes. Don't step on my shoes, and I'm not standing on couches holding bottles. You know how much alcohol costs?
Yeah.
I mean, the markup.
Yes.
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
For what?
If Commissioner Goodell let you went to the rookie symposium and let you talk,
I need to. He need to let me do that.
Well, hopefully they're watching this.
I need to do it. I got Roger on speed dial. I got him on speed dial. I need to do that.
About financial literacy.
Yes, but the problem is it's gonna go in one ear and out the other, especially at that age. It's like me going to talk to kids and that's getting NIL deals.
Right.
You got everybody in your ear. You don't know who to tell no to. You got all these investment people. You know how many horror stories there are about NFL players that invest in companies? I mean, Usain Bolt just going through an issue.
12.7, I saw that.
Going out of his account. Because the investment, listen, the best investment person is yourself. Do your homework. You don't need all these people. Because if they knew, name one investment person that's in a position and is rich. How you gonna tell me what to do with my money and you haven't made it yet?
Right.
To give me an example on what I should do. Nah, man, I don't like that. I don't like that. We put our money in too many people's hands and you don't know what's going on.
You say you interned at Morgan Stanley. Was it of the utmost important that you go understand? You knew what money was, but now that I have it, how do I keep it?
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell guys. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
And the funny part about it is people, social media. Well, if I spend this bag, I'm gonna just go make it back. It ain't like you think.
No.
And people, they think the cure and the fix for the problem is, well, give me more money, I'm gonna be all right. Well, the more you make, the more you spend.
Right.
If you have no discipline and no structure.
Yes, absolutely.
Every time.
Yes.
Every time. Well, just give me more and more. No, the more you get, the more you're gonna spend. And people ain't gonna listen because we are caught up in looking a certain way, living a certain way, trying to appease others who don't really care nothing about you, just to say, oh, I got it.
Wow.
Well, shit, I got it too and I had it for almost 30 years.
So is that in us or is that social media? Because I look at social media, I'm like, well, damn, I might need to get me another job or two because how she got how?
Listen, we can't compete with people that's scamming and doing fraud.
Okay.
We can't do that.
No, I can't go to jail.
We can't do that.
I like my freedom.
We can't do that. Now, there are very few people that can sustain that lifestyle consistently over time.
Because normally people that's making it legally and doing the right thing, they don't post it on social media, right?
No. You know how hard it is to live like that all the time, consistently, and be fly every day?
Yeah.
Jewelry and listen, eras of rappers. Think about the era before us.
Right.
Everybody was flashy, stunned. And after 10 years, what happens?
They ain't flashy, they ain't stunned.
No, you can't. It's impossible to sustain.
Right.
It's impossible.
I would like to fly
what.
private. I need to get me on. I want to make enough money I can fly
private?
Yeah.
Shh, I ain't flying private. Spirit. Dougie, what I fly, Dougie? Put me on Spirit. exit row, window seat. That's all I need. As long as I get from point A to point B. I don't need private.
I want to just, I just want to. Let's get to some football. Right now, I need your top 5 receivers. They ain't got to be no order.
Right. I'm gonna give you an order.
Okay. Well, okay.
I'm gonna give you an order.
You gonna give me an order?
I love these dudes.
Okay.
I love these dudes, and they don't get the credit they deserve because this league loves what's new.
Right.
So my number 1, Davante Adams.
Okay.
My 2, 2A, 2B, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Keenan Allen doesn't get the credit he deserves. So that's interchangeable based on what you like.
So far, you named 3 route runners. I see where you're going with
this. See where I'm going with this. Now, those are my preference. Now, people at home, when you watch this, you can take those 3 and you can make it interchangeable. What we don't like to do is I'm giving credit to those who've done it for an extended period of time consistently.
Right.
Then let's go to the young bulls.
Okay.
Chase, Jefferson. Like, where do we go? You know, they've been consistent, short period of time, but they put up numbers. Obviously, Chase breaking my record in a season with yards, and Jefferson's doing some things, uncanny.
Right.
You know, surpassing Randy Moss. There are others that are so worthy, but you said top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget you. All you fellas in the league that's young, I'm watching you. I watch all of you.
Right.
But that's just my 5 for now.
Okay. So if I said, who is the best receiver right now?
Right now?
Right now.
That's not fair. Because that's hard. How do you say who's the best?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I mean,
you the receiver.
Listen,
you the guru.
I know. I am. But it's interchangeable and it changes week to week.
Okay.
You know, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin. You got DJ Moore. You got all these boys.
Okay, you the general manager.
Debo Samuels.
You the general manager.
Right.
You got to pick one receiver to go start your team with. Who you taking?
Young or just any receiver?
Any receiver you want.
Can I do 2? 2 players?
1.
I'm going Davante Adams. Simply because I can do whatever I want with him, regardless of what you put in front of him, cover 255, man-to-man, double. It doesn't matter. He can win off the muscle.
Right.
And as a coordinator, he makes my life easy. I don't have to condense splits.
Right.
I don't have to put him in motion.
Right.
I can line him up like Marvin Harrison.
Just line him up on the right
like
side.
Jimmy Smith. Can you get open for me? As a quarterback, I can close my eyes, hike the ball, and know he's going to be where he's supposed to be because his ability to create separation and get open. Now, I could talk.
Okay, give me your guys under 25. Give me your guys under 25. Devontae's a little older.
Yeah,
you got JJ.
See how y'all do us? See how y'all do us? He a little older.
Yeah, he a little older.
Come on.
But he's still that dog now.
Yeah.
Because he can be in the slot. You can put him out wide. You can put him in motion.
And he can win off the muscle.
Oh, man, he got moves.
Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
McLaurin.
Mm-hmm.
A.J. goddamn Brown.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith. I'm missing some.
You got C.D. Lamb. You got Metcalf.
C.D. Lamb.
Judy.
DK Metcalf. There's one more. Dotson.
Okay, you like the kid out of Washington.
Yeah, Dotson, along with McLaurin. They got a nice combo now. If they can get some consistent quarterback play over there, they can make some noise. They making noise already, but I mean consistently like the rest of the teams.
When you watch these receivers on Sunday, who's Ochocinco? Who reminds you of yourself?
Nobody, because they play the game. Oh, I left out Tyreek. I'm tripping.
Yeah, you don't left you. I ain't say nothing. I just keep that moving because everybody be telling me you be playing favorites. You be making people picks.
Ty's the dynamic. He changed the dynamic of any offense, regardless of where he goes. So he's definitely he's in a category of his own.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no Ocho, because I played the game and had fun, but I also added the dynamic of the entertainment value to it, and that's hard. I don't think anybody can play with that pressure.
Right.
You know, I added pressure purposely to entertain those watching, whether I was playing home and away.
Right.
Wednesday was my day to create bulletin board material for the opposing team. I want you upset.
But you also knew by doing this, I got to be on my game.
It forced me to be on my game, and I enjoyed it, and I liked that.
How would you feel if you're Devontae and the quarterback that you went to go play with?
One of the reasons why you went there is because he's your quarterback from college. And y'all have chemistry.
Yes.
I'd be upset.
And then all of a sudden, you see the direction that they're going in.
I'd be upset. I'd be upset. And I would wonder, what is management going to do? Maybe Aaron Rodgers is going there.
Or Brady. Because that's his old offensive coordinator.
It is?
Josh.
Or Brady. That's a good one. That's a good one. And he still had a good year, even with the quarterback carousel.
Yes. Do you believe Devontae should have stayed in Green Bay? Are you surprised that he left, considering Green Bay had more money on the team?
He had to leave. Wow. Aaron took the whole goddamn pot. It wasn't no
money. But they say they had more money in Green Bay.
They lying.
They lying.
They lying. That man, goddamn, Aaron Rodgers taking $50 million a year.
Yeah.
$50 million a year. What you gonna pay? What you gonna pay Devontae? He deserves to be the highest paid in the game. Can't do that. And if he really cared about his player, he'd do what Brady did. Brady took a team-friendly deal to be able to build around the team.
Right.
And I mean, Aaron is different. They say take the money when it's available, but he didn't do that.
If I took Ochocinco, his rookie season, and I say, okay, I'm gonna give you Aaron Rodgers, I'll give you Tom Brady, I'll give you Peyton Manning, I'll give you Patrick Mahomes. You only get one quarterback.
Right.
You get him for 10 years. Who you taking?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because you can't go wrong no matter what.
Okay.
Because regardless of who's playing as a rookie and throughout that tenure, unless I'm on the back end, I'm always open.
No, you're your rookie season.
Oh, rookie season?
Yeah. And I'm giving you one of those guys: Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. Maybe Pat. I go with Pat. I like Pat. I like my homeboy. He does things he's not supposed to do, and he's one where we could go off script for a little bit and create our own magic.
Right.
He has the freedom to do so.
Cincinnati.
We going into Buffalo and we finna win. I don't know when this is airing, but I'm just putting that out there right now.
You putting it out there?
Yeah.
Cincinnati, you had Carson, you had Kitten. I think Kitten is the first.
Yeah, Kitten the first. First two, I think.
First two.
And Scott Mitchell, yep.
Why weren't you able to finish your career in Cincinnati?
I don't think many of the top receivers on any team have ever finished in their career. I think who was fortunate was Larry Fitzgerald. I'm not sure how he was able to do it, but him and management think they had some type of deal. Management and I got along extremely well. Had no issues, but I think towards the end of my career, it was time to move on, you know, and there was nothing I could do about that. It's
Would you have liked to play the year because you left and they drafted AJ Green?
Yeah.
Would you have liked to play the year with AJ?
Yeah, and at that point, year 10, I have no problem being
a mentor.
Yeah, or mentor, or being number two.
Number two.
It's the same thing. I took a backseat when T.O. came, and this is somebody I look up to.
Right.
You know, I have no problem being a number two. I don't care. I have no problem because it's Terrell Horton, one of the best to ever play the position.
Right.
I had no problem. So seeing that, I think they should have known I would have been okay.
Right.
AJ Green coming in, I understand.
But
I know
they
how
didn't
the
think
game
you could
works.
do that, huh?
I don't think so. And then with maturity, they should have known and seen how much I had grown, and it would have been cool. And matter of fact, I could still be playing right now, and I would have no problem being 4-string to T, Chase, and Tyler Boyd.
Play what?
I'm just saying,
Play FIFA? Madden?
Nah, like in today's game.
Oh, you said if you were the age back then, you could play.
I could play right now. But you know, I'm in shape. You know,
egg is a shape.
No. I'm in shape. I'm in shape. Like if a call was to happen to come, I'm not to play, but I'm in shape to be able to go.
So what the call gonna come for if you can't play?
I'm just saying, if it was, I'm just telling you, I'm in shape if it was to come.
Okay, let me ask you this. This is the most baffling thing with me because I just knew this was gonna work.
Right.
Why didn't it work in New England?
Why? You know what? I think for one, too many goddamn targets out there. Let's think about this, right? Think about this real quick. I go to New England. They already have, you listening? Julian Edelman.
Yep.
Wes Welker.
Yep.
Deion Branch.
Yep.
Gronk. Aaron Hernandez.
Yep.
What I'm doing there?
You Ocho! That's what you doing there. You Ocho. How many of them had 6 Pro Bowls by the time when you got there?
And then it's a whole different
You
ballgame.
the big dog.
Listen, it shouldn't me, not over there.
Man,
Listen, in New England, ain't no big dog. It's an even playing field. Everybody's expendable. And you can feel it when you walk in the room. Everybody expendable. First day I walk in to meet Belichick. I'm ready to shake hands and, you know, welcome, thank you for coming. You know you're gonna have to change who you are to be here. Ooh, took the wind out my sails.
Huh?
Ooh, yeah.
Hold up, he didn't tell you that before you got there?
Ain't no Ocho, ain't no big dog. Patriot way, get in line.
So let me ask you, so
listen, I enjoyed my time there.
Right.
It wasn't as productive as I would like. I got there late. I didn't have an off season, you know, but it was fun. It was such a joy to know we were gonna win every week. And it was a joy to understand why they were so successful as a team, as an organization, because it started from the top and it trickled all the way down on the way things are ran. I've never been to the military, never been to the Army, but if I had to take a guess what it's like, that's what it is like playing for New England. Everything was on point.
Structure.
If you mess up, you start over until you get it right. And that is why they won all the time. Obviously, having someone like 12 at the helm, it's what it is.
What was Coach Belichick's recruiting pitch to get you to come to New England?
I got traded. If I had an opportunity to pick a team to go to, I wouldn't have picked New England to go to.
Right.
I wouldn't have, because there was too much going on.
Why'd you tell them to release you then?
No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Don't. Listen, the cards I was dealt, I just took them. I tried to do the best I could, and it didn't work.
You ain't have no spades.
Huh?
You know how you play spades, you ain't got no spades.
Yeah,
I ain't playing face cards.
You right.
If I got to have spades, I throw the hand in.
You're right. I mean, listen, it don't work out. Look, why Mark Anthony and J-Lo ain't work out? It looked great, sound great. The two, it just looked like boom, but it didn't work out. It just that's
But
life.
they did last like 5-6 years. You last 5-6 months.
Sometimes it's like that.
Give me your top 5 quarterbacks. It's interesting to see what your take is on
quarterbacks?
quarterback right now.
Right now, Patrick Mahomes, boy. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Now this number 5 is tough. Can I go Jalen Hurts?
You can.
Can I go Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's an argument that people will, but what about so-and-so? What about Dak? I mean, it's a 5A or 5B. I'd like to throw Dak in there as well. But 5A, 5B, Jalen Hurts, Dak. And I'm sure there's more.
Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, see, it's like it's so many. Trevor Lawrence obviously having a stellar year this year. Justin Herbert always been quietly good. I don't get to watch the LA Chargers play much, but I just know he's an animal at the position. But I just go with that 5. And I don't like what they doing to Lamar. Pay the man.
I was about to ask you, did he handle this situation correctly?
He handled it the best way he could. He handled it the best way he could as a quarterback, as a face of their franchise, and he's hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah, because I look at
if you value him,
right.
If you value him like you say you do,
you'd got it done after his 3rd year.
Yeah, you would have got it done a long time ago. You want to lock your quarterback up as soon as possible, especially one that changed the dynamic of your team like that.
Right.
But they want to play games because he wants guaranteed. Well, if Cleveland set the precedent, Lamar Jackson is a game changer.
He's more accomplished than Deshaun.
Not only
that's not a today.
No, not a diss. Not a diss.
Deshaun is an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
But when you're a league MVP unanimously, when you've gone to the playoffs back-to-back years, you won a playoff game, that's got to be worth something.
Right. It's worth a lot. It's worth a guaranteed contract.
Right.
About $230.
Right.
Maybe $229.
Right.
Make him feel good. But they're going to play the game. And if you feel that way about him, if you don't value him and what he brings to the team and what he brings to that organization, just let him go. Don't even play the franchise tag game. Seek a trade and watch someone else give him what he wants or what he's worth.
So, I'm looking at you. You brought up in Miami, obviously.
Liberty City.
Liberty City.
Yes, sir.
How did growing up in Liberty City, how did that shape the man that we see sitting here today?
That's a good one. I think my environment, my surroundings, I wouldn't say shape because my environment and surroundings would persuade me to be flashy or persuade me to the big chains, the mouthful of goals. I did that. I represented my city extremely well while I was playing by leaving Liberty City, but never ever really leaving.
Right.
Because I took that with me.
Liberty City was in you.
It was in me, and I played that way. I chose not to conform while I was playing, which upset a lot of people. But it was always in me. But if I had to say, that might be one of the ways that did shape me. By never conforming, never needing validation. never wanting acceptance. For instance, Hall of Fame.
Right.
Everybody say, oh, you're supposed to be in the Hall of Fame. Listen, I put that jacket on for a reason. I put that jacket on for a reason. That night, I had just crossed the 10,000 yard mark on that catch.
Right.
And I felt I was Hall of Fame worthy. I don't care what y'all think. I'm not needing or seeking your validation. The fact that when we play the game and we grow up, it takes so much to get through so many obstacles to even get to that point, to get to that pinnacle of a childhood dream.
Right.
So now you get it, you reach it, you play it. Now you got other people in control of how you feel because you want to be accepted in the part of something they have, which is the highest honor.
Right.
It is the highest honor.
Right.
But I will never give them the satisfaction of having that kind of power over me, knowing that I care that much, which is why I don my own jacket, because I don't want to play politics.
Right.
Because the goalposts move, depending on who the person is.
Correct.
And I was one that played the game my way. I played the game my way, and they don't see that fit, that, you know what, he never did it the way we felt he should have, and we will always slight him in any way, because the numbers are good enough, because there are others that have gotten in there with lesser. So I don't want to argue the fact. I think that's another thing, being from Liberty City, is just never needing that validation, and that's it.
You was raised by your grandparents.
Grandma.
Although your mom was around, your grandmother felt it was best that you live with her. What were some of the lessons that she instilled? Because I was raised by my grandparents, mainly my grandmother.
Do right by others. And that's something that I always try to do. Do right by others in life. Do right by others in life. And I fell short of that before. I fell short. And I think that's what life is about. Life is about experiences. Life is about lessons. Life is about mistakes. And with those mistakes in life is learning from them and never allowing them to repeat themselves.
Right.
And I've done a hell of a job at that. A hell of a job. And always showing love to any and everybody, no matter who you are. And people will tell you that have met me in passing, yo, you're nothing like what they perceive you to be. Yeah, because that's the media, that's their job. Right. I enjoyed being the villain. I like that. I bought into that role. But that's nothing like I am in person. That's a persona. Right. And on Sundays, I allowed them to portray how it was viewed by the public. Right. And I was okay with that.
As your grandmother started to age, she suffered from dementia. How did that? Because man, your grandmother, I love my mom, but there's just something about a grandma. Yeah. There's something about a granny. And they love grandkids more than they love their own kids. And to see all of a sudden,
don't remember,
she's there, but she's really not there because all of a sudden she don't know who her baby is.
Didn't know who I was at one point.
What did that do to you?
It was crushing. But the fact that I was able to deal with it a little bit better because it was a slow process in understanding what was to come.
What was going on?
It was, what was to come. So I cherished those moments when she did realize who I was. And when it got to the point where it was so bad, where she didn't know, and my mother had to leave LA and move to Miami just to take care of her because she was that weak and unable. And at that point, I just started remembering the good times. Right. The good times, the going to church every Sunday, the pinches for me or her looking at me in the choir. Man, boy, you better. Oh man, man. But don't get me tearing up here. But yeah, good time. Same thing with mom. You know, I lost mom in 2021, early January. Same way, the memories. Because we call her Hurricane Paul, and that's exactly what she was.
So in other words, instead of choosing to what she was going through, you chose to remember only the good times that you and your mom or you and your grandmother had. Yeah. That was the way you dealt with it.
Yeah, I had to. Because if you think about the bad, it puts you in the dumps. Yeah. It messes with you. You start crying, and then it affects other things you have going on in life. And then I needed to be strong for them little ones. Right. Because they watching. Yeah. So in my own time alone, it's okay to let it out. Yeah. You let it out. Right. You know, and
but when you look at it, Ocho, you had far more good times with them than bad.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah. A year or 2 or 3 years that you're going through this right now. But when you look like man, I had 40 years of this woman when she had her right mind, and my mom didn't suffer, and it wasn't going through any of this.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. It was some good time, man. Great memories, great stories.
In Liberty City, what did Ochocinco want to be when he was growing up in Liberty City?
Like a veterinarian. I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Did you know any vets? Or you just like animals?
Yeah, love animals. Killer whales. My entire right leg is killer whales all the way up. Yeah.
Did you have any animals growing up? Did you have a dog? Did you have a cat, a squirrel?
Yep. Dogs. I'm really good with dogs. Really good with breeds. Being able to name any and every breed just by looking. Now they done mix breeds up so much it's hard to tell what's what. Yeah. But I always wanted to be a veterinarian, and I love killer whales. I love orcas. Anything to do with marine biology, that would have been me.
So you want to be a vet.
Veterinarian.
Then you kind of got good at sports.
I wanted to play soccer.
Okay. Did you play soccer in high school?
No, I couldn't because soccer and football was during the same time.
Right.
And I had to pick one. Grandma sat me down. Now, listen, baby, this is not what we do. This back in, the 90s, so you can imagine.
Right.
Soccer's still not as big as it should be in the States. So,
right.
And we're in 2023, so imagine back then
right.
in the 90s. Like, you're thinking long term, you need to be trying to focus on this, and it was football.
Right. Did you get recruited heavily out of high school?
Yeah, but I ain't had no grades, Shannon. I ain't even saying lie to you, man. Because I felt I was good enough where I was going to squeeze through the cracks. And my grandma told me, baby, you need to always put your books first. Because it's not going to work no matter how good you are. Without education, you're not going to be able to get through. Oh, nah, mommy, I got it, mommy. I'm good. I call my grandma mommy too.
Right.
I'm good. I'm going to get through here. But listen.
Them recruiters came and started looking at that transcript?
Look at that, Well,
you couldn't get in jail with those grades.
Nope. I couldn't. So my opportunity, I had the red shirt. I went to Langston University.
You went to Langston?
Went to Langston University in 1997. I never forget.
Langston, Oklahoma, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Coach Johnson. I never forget. Coach Johnson was the coach at the time. I was a red shirt. Okay. Red shirt, and got in trouble for fighting. That's one of my problems. I'm always fighting, so I got in trouble for fighting. They threw me out. I never forget. Dr. Ernest Holloway, rest in peace.
What were you fighting about, Ocho?
Dude, I had $100.
Okay.
I had $100 in my drawer. I went to the what do you call when you go? Went to the cafeteria. Came back. Yeah. And my $100 was gone. Now it's only one person. Come on now, talk to me. It's only one person that had access to the room was my roommate. Bruh, where my $100, Big Steve? Man, I ain't been in here. Big Steve, nobody has access to our room but you. Right. Man. And then he buckled up at me, he knuckled up at me. Man, I just hit him with a 2-piece. And then just we went to work. We thumped for a little bit. Right. We thumped for a little bit.
Did you get the money back?
No, I didn't get the money back. And he, face kind of messed up. They went down to the office. Whoever the officer came, sent me down to Dr. Ernest Holloway. They sent me to my room. We'll talk to you. They called me back down the following morning, and they expelled me. They expelled me. I came back to Miami, and my grandma, oh no. Listen, baby, I've done all I can with you. Her favorite line, I wash my hands.
What? Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Man, listen, that hurt, didn't it?
That hurt. But this is how I ended up in LA at Santa Monica because my mama was living out here. My mama had been out here for a long time. Right. So, boom. Not first time, but now I get to stay with mama full time. Right. Hurricane Paula. I never forget. She lived in Baldwin Hills, right off of Stocker. Okay. 4565 Don Tomaso Drive, apartment number 1. Okay. Enrolled at Santa Monica. Steve Smith is there. Yep. Dylan Smith is our quarterback who went to Venice High. Had a great year. Great year because I was able to come in and play right away. So that's 2 years down. Right. Following year, my grades messed up again.
You know you need the grades because that's what got you in this situation
in the first time. But you ain't thinking that because I'm like, ooh, I can get on the field. Once they see me, boom, I'm gonna be able to squeeze through the cracks. Boom, insert Charles Collins comes in during that year of me being ineligible. We train together. I take some classes at Southwest. Well, the Southwest or West LA. I think it might have been West LA. Take some extra classes, get myself eligible the following year. So that's year 4. Right. I play, have a great year, get my grades together. I'm on point, and looking at schools that would give me a 1-for-1. Not many would give you a 1-for-1. Dennis Erickson, Oregon State. Dennis remembered me from the camps the Hurricanes used to have back in the days when I used to go out there and act a fool, having fun, just being really good at that point. He gave me a shot. Now, I never forget. Now I insert me at Oregon State, TJ Houshmandzadeh. Yep. I ain't look back, Shay. Once I got to Oregon State, man, it took off from there. What I was able to do in such a short amount of time at the collegiate level, never being on the big stage like that, That was it. That was all she wrote.
You mentioned Langston, which is an HBCU. The HBCU now experience is a lot different than it was for you back then.
Yeah.
What would you tell kids now that have an opportunity to possibly experience? Because that's what HBCU is. It's an experience.
Listen, I have a love for FAMU. I have an extreme love for FAMU because of my mom and grandma, who both went to Bethune-Cookman. But they took me to the Florida Classic every year since 1984. But my gravitation towards the Rattlers has always been a great one. And I've always shown them love publicly, whether it be through attire, whether in helping in any way I can. Dr. Chipman and Dr. White. Something about that HBCU experience that I was never able to experience that I miss and want so bad. And I think if people have a chance to go to a school like that, it's okay.
Right.
And then people will say, well, Power Fives have the amenities and have things that HBCUs don't. And I say, well, if you really like that,
oh yeah,
it don't matter where you go.
Right.
They gonna find you.
But
if you really like that.
Right. I think it's just hard to get a kid that has the grades and he's a 5-star, 4 or 5-star recruit, to like turn down Notre Dame, Alabama, something like that to go to an HBCU.
It's hard, but it's that HBCU experience is
it's an experience. It absolutely is. I loved it.
And to the fact I haven't even got my degree. So I'm thinking about when the time is right, I'm going to FAM. What you mean? I'm going to FAM and I'm gonna join the band.
And to do what in the band, Chad?
Dude, man, my grandma had me playing saxophone and piano. I can play the sax. And at some point I can audition to be the drum major.
You ain't picked up a sack. You don't even carry a sack of grocery.
Listen,
so let alone a saxophone.
When the last time you rode a bike?
Man, I rode a bike. A stationary bike.
Not a stationary bike. When the last time you rode a regular bike?
Oh man, it's probably not since I've been out here.
So not since you've been out here, but if you was to get a bike, not stationary, you would get on there, you think you could still ride?
I know I could.
Damn it, there you go right there. Man, it don't take long now.
Ride the bike.
The notes, and listen, I can still read music.
No,
it's not. That's something that I've always done.
When last time you played the saxophone, Chad?
I still have it right there, and I play guitar.
I know what you got. You might have got a hot one the last time.
Picked it up?
I didn't say pick it up.
I haven't played in a while. But listen to me. Listen to me. It never leaves you.
Okay.
It never leaves you because it's something that she instilled in me as a kid, and it will always be there. It's called muscle memory.
Right.
Muscle memory. I still can read music. I still know the notes. Nothing changed. And I guarantee you, once I apply myself like I do in everything else I want to be good at,
yeah, you got to devote time
I could be the drum major for FAM. No joking. I'm not smiling. I'm not laughing. But it's a serious matter when it comes to stuff like that. It's not a laughing matter.
You want to be the drum major at FAM?
Yeah, that would be dope. I also want to get my degree in business, minor in marketing, because I'm a great marketer.
I saw Coach Prime. He received a lot of negativity about leaving. And you know the one thing I always say about this, when you leave something, people always talk about what you didn't do, but never will talk about what you did do. It's like that with anything.
Like that
in
life
as a coach, or as a relationship. I'm sure you had a relationship where it's like, well, Chad didn't do this, but what about what did Chad did do? So what was your thought process about him leaving, going to a Power 5?
It's Prime. It's Prime. I think Prime did what he was supposed to do as far as going to Jackson State and changing that program to the magnitude that he did. The coverage was great. The amenities, some of the things that he brought in were great. Now, as far as
spent some of his own money.
Oh yeah, see, I don't know anything about that. I don't know the details and the infrastructure on what happened. But what he was able to do in putting Jackson State on the map, even though they're already on the map, no disrespect, but to a grander scale, I think it was dope what he was able to do. And when the opportunity like that comes a knocking, you have to take it, because in life, it's about
you get another one.
Yeah, ain't no guarantee. In life, it's all about elevating.
Yes.
And continue to elevate in whatever it is that you do. And I think he's going to do a phenomenal job at Colorado. And his next stop is going to be the NFL.
You think Ty want to deal with NFL guys?
Yeah, of course he's going to say not to, but it must be the
money
that turning me out. All you got to do is play that song. Because when the money come and call, and when you're consistently winning and being able to do it at two different entities, they coming to call. Because not only did Prime is a good coach, he's a player's coach, and he's someone that the players can relate to even at the NFL level. And that's someone you run through a wall for.
Yeah, he teaches a lot of life lessons with the way you see he communicates and talks to the kids.
Did you hear the difference? He teaches lessons. He's a teacher, not a coach. So you get a coach and a teacher, and you put that together. That is more dynamic than any of the other 32 coaches. No disrespect to them, but you got a different dynamic when you put somebody like Prime in that position running your team. And I did say the Cowboys, but the Cowboys and Jerry Jones wouldn't relinquish that power, having someone that has more star power than him in that high position.
What if Ty became the first African American to win a national championship? They ready for that?
Yeah, but I don't think it would be at Colorado though.
Okay.
It might be at Florida State. Listen to me.
Well, it's definitely going to take him some time because you got to get a certain type of player.
Yeah, players.
Players, yes.
Players, the right position. Yeah, right position. Let's start with the interior.
Front to back.
Let's start.
O-line, D-line.
Let's start with the interior.
Got to.
Once you start there, everything else gonna take care of itself.
Yeah.
Because the skill position, they come in a dime a dozen.
Right. What's your fondest memories of college? Langston, Santa Monica Junior College, Oregon State. What's your fondest memories?
My fondest memories, Santa Monica, Steve Smith, Dylan Smith, Robert Taylor, Charles Collins, who's responsible for everything that has to do with my skill set when it comes to playing the game of receiver. He's responsible for everything. The relationships and the friends from back then. Langston, so many friends I met in they're all from Chicago. I have no idea where all those people are.
Do you still keep in contact with some of the people that you met at Langston?
No, it's hard because I don't remember anybody's name. I know one person that was from Miami. Him and I still stay in contact. Lil Maurice. I said Oregon State. Obviously, TJ and I still in communication. My quarterback now is the quarterback at the quarterback. My quarterback back then at Oregon State is now the head coach. And with social media, it makes it a lot easier to stay in contact. Stay in contact with people. So him and I we've talked back and forth. They haven't had an opportunity due to scheduling, being able to go back and catch a game yet, but. It's been dope. It's been dope.
I read a story with John. You dropped the pass and you were crying, and John.
Oh, I never forget. It was third down. We were playing the Indianapolis Colts on the 25 going out, and that changed me in general. That drop, I never forget it. That's why I was able to call it out. Third down against the Colts.
Don't you remember? It's always you always remember the bad more than you ever remember the good.
Yep. Because after that catch, that change. That was a pivotal point in my career.
And same thing happened. I remember dropping a pass. It was my second year in the league in 1991. I dropped a pass in the south end zone. Landed up. I was playing tight end. They split me out. They walked to Robinson, the linebacker from the Raiders, 57. I dropped the pass. We'd have won the game, and we'd have had home field throughout. We losing the championship game to Buffalo 10-7. I was crying. I remember crying, like driving home. I was crying. My brother like, man, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, Spank, I blew it. He's like, what? What'd you do? I said, I dropped the touchdown, man. I said, we'd have won the game. We'd have had home field throughout. He said, you'll get another chance. It took 6 years before we got in the AFC Championship game.
You got that chance.
And got an opportunity to make up for it. And I never, still, the satisfaction of catching a pass that kept a drive alive and we run out the clock, or the 96-yard touchdown, I still remember the drop with greater disappointment than I do the joy of those other two plays.
That's crazy how that works. And I didn't let it linger, but it lit a fire. It lit a fire up under me.
It drove me mad.
To never ever have my offensive coordinator or quarterback feeling like they couldn't count on me.
Yep, that's it.
And then after that, when I got to year 3, I remember the disappointment, not on just me, but just the feeling of letting my teammates down to keep that drive alive and the opportunity to win that game in Indy. And year 3, from that point on, I wasn't feeling myself, but I felt I had arrived. And I understood the game, the speed of the game. The game became slow to me. And before every game, I walk up to my quarterback and my offensive coordinator and said, I got you, no matter what. I got you. And just the feeling of, then I really got into my, not my bag, but since that's what the kids say these days, I got into my bag with the calling Hugh Jackson and Marvin, the phone calls at 3, 4 in the morning. I'm open, and just hang up. Psychological.
Man, I wish you would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Talk after.
Yeah, listen, that's psychological wars. You play.
No,
games,
you're supposed to call the other team defensive coordinator and wake them up. Don't wake me up.
No, because when you're having a dream, right? listen to me. Stay with me.
Okay.
Right? When you have a dream,
yes,
you wake up in the morning,
yeah,
and you remember that dream vividly, don't you?
Yep.
Same thing with them phone calls. So when we get on those Saturdays, when I call you the night before games or through the week, when you're in that booth and you're calling plays, at some point you're gonna vividly remember, you know what? Just subconsciously, Chad gonna be open.
You had a couple of 200-yard games, or you had a 260 or 209, and they came in very close. What do you remember about those games? Was there anything different going into that game? Because like sometimes during the week of practice, you like, boy, this thing gonna be nice on Sunday. And then sometimes you have a bad week of practice, I mean, you're not getting a whole lot of balls, and then for some reason, the ball just finds you on a Sunday.
I had 260?
Yeah.
You know what? I think it might have been San Diego. And they just played cover one. That's why. Anytime there are games that big like that, it's just cover one. They refuse to change.
Right.
You know, cover three, cover one, and they not doubling. That's all it is. And you're not covering me one-on-one.
Did you feel it was disrespectful that they didn't double you?
No, because they were stuck into their ways back then.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, they didn't care who you are. This is what we play. We're gonna play that, and we're gonna rely on our corners to do their job.
When they talk about receivers, obviously in the era it was Randy, Larry, Marvin, Reggie, Torrey Holt.
Mm-hmm. T.O.
Do you feel you got the credit that you deserve for being the receiver that you were? Or do you feel you were overshadowed?
I don't know, because I never thought about it. Nor do I care about the discussions when the top receivers come up. Mm-hmm. I never mentioned myself. I mentioned, the people that you just did. Mm-hmm. I don't care about top 5. I don't care about top 10. I don't care about eras. I care about those that played it mm-hmm. and that love it and have more of a sense of, well, I want to be considered this when this conversation comes up.
Okay.
I've never been that. And I will always say the greatest receiver that I've ever seen play, Jerry, great numbers, what he's done for the game. But to me, Randy and T.O., we will never see anything like that ever again.
Right.
I saw that up close with my own eyes.
Right.
Up close with my own eyes. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
You think somebody's gonna break Jerry's record?
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't think people realize Jerry got 208 touchdowns.
Man, listen,
22,000 yards.
You know how long you got to play?
Yeah.
Now, we are in a pass-happy league.
And plus you got an extra game, T.O.
You got an extra game, but that's a lot of, you got to be consistent year in and year out.
Right.
The quarterback play, the chemistry and the Wi-Fi between you and the quarterback.
Right.
You and the coordinator got to have a thing going on.
And you got to stay
healthy. You move
healthy.
around or you got to stay healthy. It's possible, but P, I think other players would be like, man.
I don't know. I mean, eventually somebody 1,509 yards, that's doable, especially with the pass-happy league now.
Right.
But those 197 receiving touchdowns.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot of football you got to play.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of football you got to play. But Jerry was a great one, man, in his own right. And when we talk about the greatest of all time, I think Jerry should be in the category of his own.
Oh, yeah, when the receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the category of his own.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But then, based on the numbers and the accolades and what he was able to achieve, but just for me, me personally, I know what Jerry's done, but that goddamn Randy and T.O., man.
Yeah. Oh, I got him at 2 and 3. I mean, it's debatable.
Yeah.
I think Jerry's number 1. I got T.O. I got T.O. 2. I got Randy 3. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that have Randy 2. Some people put Randy at 1. I just don't know how somebody goes over Jerry.
Yeah.
Given his longevity, given what he's done, the numbers, the totality of what he's been able to do.
That's why I put him in his own class. That's why I put him in his own class, so there's but I like, for me, being able to see it. I want to see it. I know why you was able to do what you did. I know why you was able to score 23 touchdowns that year when you played in New England. I was able to see it. Seeing T.O. come back after ankle surgery and like, man, how?
Right.
Man, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
What made you come up with the touchdown celebrations? Were you just sitting at home like, man?
I'm from Miami, right?
Right.
Who dominated college football in the 90s?
Kane.
So that's what I grew up watching. So that's what I grew up doing. From Liberty City Optimists, from Miami Lakes Optimists, I was always celebrating. I was celebrating.
Well, the Canes really dominated the 80s and then had a little resurgence.
Yeah.
But you grew up in that era where you saw that in the 80s.
That's what I saw.
They were the thing.
Yeah. So what I saw, I imitated as a little kid in Little League and grew up doing that. So once I made it, I waited first.
Mm-hmm.
Let me understand. Let me get a feel for the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get a feel for the speed of the game. And once I felt I arrived, okay, I got it now. Now I can kick into gear and just be me. Because everything else is moving so slow. And then the entertainment value kicked in.
What was your favorite celebration?
I had all my homeboys in town from Liberty City.
Mm-hmm.
Never been outside of the city before. Never. And I put them all in the family section. And I scored on that end against Tennessee. And I told the camera operator, listen, if I score on this end, just move to the side. Let me get the camera. And I put all them young bulls on TV for like 10 seconds. And I think just getting them that TV time for that split second was dope. Dudes ain't never been out of Miami. Maybe the marriage proposal was good too. Or Tiger Woods won some Saturday night. It's too many. It's too many. It was one I didn't do that I thought would have been really good.
Were you and T.O., did you and T.O. ever try to like, okay, I got something special? Did you ever know what the celebration he might do? Did he ever know the celebration?
No, we didn't talk about that. Anything you saw was, for me, it was organic, just my authentic, organic, and there was always a theme to it on something I maybe saw on TV, like the River Dance.
Right.
The Lord of the something happened to be in town in Chicago, and I saw the commercial. I like, you know what, I'm finna do that if I score tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, it was just off the rim.
Trash talking. There are a lot of you mic'd up and you talking to the DB, talking about you can't guard me, and then you ran into Ray.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? You was trying to sneak him, weren't you?
Yeah, I tried to sneak. He wasn't looking. No, the funny thing, everybody always sees that clip. The funny thing about it is we played the Ravens twice a year.
Yeah.
And if that safety didn't come down on that stretch play or that toss, then Ray's the next person for me to hit.
Right.
And I lost to Ray about 200 times. It just so happened I happened to be mic'd up that day. Right. And you saw what happened to me every single time. But every single time, I was going. I ain't never give up. And I was a gnat. I was a gnat. No, I didn't care how big it was. I played a reckless style of football, even though I was so frail.
But the thing is, you supposed to have to drop the boom on him. He ain't seen you.
I dropped the boom on him.
No, he didn't even flinch.
I know, my shoestring, right? No, listen, my shoestring was untied. I stepped on my shoestring, so the laws of physics, low man wins.
Right.
So it messed up my trajectory of being low, so I could have won and got up under him, so I couldn't get up under him like I wanted to.
So you go try to Hines Ward him, huh?
Yeah. See, Hines was good at that shit because he was short.
Yeah.
So I'm tall, so I got to get down a little bit more.
Well, you was at the game when he got Keith Rivers?
You remember that?
Yes.
He broke his jaw.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Hines Ward's rule. You can't block. You can't crack back down.
You can't crack back no more. Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, you can't hit nothing no more. That's why I said I could play today, because you can't touch nobody.
Who's the toughest defender you had to go against?
Revis.
Revis was like that?
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. He was good. And to make it worse, you have a great DB, then you have a great defense on top of that. That goddamn front four that year with Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
I remember John Abraham was up there. I can't remember the rest of them. Man, you had 2 seconds to throw the ball. Then you got that fool up in front of you.
And then you got Crow on the other side.
Yeah, man. And it's what really made me mad is there were times I didn't get the completions or the yardage I want that game.
Right.
But I'm open.
Right.
They say, oh, Revis locked you down. Not really. The pass was just incomplete. See, there's a difference.
Why was the pass incomplete?
I don't know.
Was there not enough separation between you and the DB?
Oh, no. Listen, this is open in the NFL. That's open.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Revis was strong. Revis was so technically sound.
And
he didn't break the first move. He never went for the first
move. Listen, people at home watching, it's hard to explain. You think about that 2009 season Revis had, man, probably one of the greatest ever. And there'll probably never be anyone to duplicate a season like that where you have to follow the number one and you lock all the top players down.
Yeah.
The fact, this is what made me really mad, is he never fell for the first move, but I was patient as well. But he had the patience of Sally Mae, and he had this arm bar.
Yeah.
So if you were going by, he put that arm bar out, and he always get his head back around, and he just feel wherever you are, and he get back to see that ball right away. Great technique, and it made me mad because he dressed so ugly in his uniform. I'm like, he got these high ass socks. Yeah. Remember how the mannequin in the locker room, how you should dress.
Yes.
That's how he was out there on the field.
Got him every pad. They got him
every pad. I'm like, oh, I'm finna sauce this motherfucker. I'm finna sauce. Man, you get out there, man, he put that, you feel that, ooh, shit.
He was strong.
Like he was strong, and he was patient, nothing flashy about him.
Did he talk?
He didn't talk. And that's one of the things I tried to get him to do. I said, if I can get him to have a conversation with me, I know I could take him out of the game a little bit. But he wouldn't talk. He wouldn't talk. Man, that motherfucker. I'm still mad. I'm still mad. But it's all right. You know, man, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. So to lose to someone of that magnitude, who was probably one of the greatest to ever lace him up, I have no problem.
Would you
I love him.
His prime?
Yeah.
In his prime?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm in my prime too? Yeah. Because these feet was going, he wasn't covering me. Prime didn't have to worry about me. He wasn't gonna have to worry about my feet. So I've watched all the Prime footage, right? And I've seen people get him off the line. I've seen people.
You ain't gonna run by him.
I don't want it. I'm known for what? I'm known for route running. I ain't gotta run by you. But if I do run by you, all I'm gonna do is stack you. What you gonna do? Run through me? What you gonna do? Run through me? Don't do me like that.
No.
Listen.
That's a different animal.
Don't do me like that.
That's a different animal.
Listen, he's a different animal. He's the greatest of all time. But I know how to diffuse the things that he's strong
You could diffuse Reavers.
So you talk about so what you trying to say?
I don't think Reavers is better than Time. That's what I'm saying. I ain't trying to say.
There's two different type of animals, two different type of styles of play. And
see,
you understand.
The thing is, when I say Time, when they say I got you all over the field, ain't no safety in the hole.
You say a prime, right?
Yeah.
We in our prime, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Reavers caught me on the back end.
Nah.
I had gray hair.
You ain't had no hair.
I had gray hair. I kept cutting it because I got Cherokee in my family, so I hate having.
You drove a Cherokee?
Huh?
You drove a Cherokee?
No, I have Cherokee in my family. But listen, with my hair, because the humidity in Miami, so I keep my shit low.
You got a curl when you were young, did you?
How you know?
Because you got bald.
Yeah.
Anybody that had a curl growing up, bald.
Yeah.
You see, I got my hair. I ain't had no curl.
You got gray hair though.
I do got gray hair. I mean, no.
When I was in LA, man, I had Shirley temples. You know, my hair was long.
Yeah.
I used to get hot comb. I had my shit long, because I was like really LA.
Yeah. That's that Florida pimp when you got your hair straight comb.
Yeah, what you know about that? it's more of an LA thing though, because they ain't, some good times too, man.
Man, the end of the career. I mean, what does Chad wish he would have done differently in the 10 years in which you played? Is there anything you would have done differently?
People ask me that all the time. Do you have any regrets? If you could go back, if you could go back and rewind time, is there anything you would have done differently? And I wouldn't change a goddamn thing, but I add some stuff to the pot.
What would you add?
A little bit more entertainment value.
Even more than what you did?
Yeah, even more than what I did. Yeah, even more than what I did. I had fun. And I think the fact that I was able to have that fun in a structured environment that didn't like players with personality, they didn't like individualism. If they were going to market someone, they want to be in control of that. If they're going to monetize off anyone's likeness, they want to be in control of that. The fact that I was able to do it my way and still do it, and still to this day, I haven't played the game in 10, 11, 12 some years. And still to this day, that name rings just as loud as anyone else that is active in the game.
Why did you change your name to Ochocinco?
Oh, that was all marketing. That was all marketing.
And people really call you that now. They don't.
Nobody even say Chad.
It's
all Ocho. It's a funny story. Spanish Heritage Month.
Right.
Obviously, I have a huge following in Mexico. Huge following. And Spanish Heritage Month, it was Carson's idea, matter of fact. Oh, you know what? You should put Ochocinco on the back of your jersey. That's the correct way to say 85.
Right.
But it didn't make any sense.
Right.
Ochocinco. No. So I said, you know, Ochocinco. So I had the equipment manager create the Velcro. And Spanish Heritage Month obviously is the month of September in the NFL.
Right.
Went out there with that on my jersey. Carson rips it off before the game starts. We were playing the Atlanta Falcons. I'll never forget, in Michael Vick. The league office fined me the following morning, 30 grand. I'm like, 30 grand for altering the NFL uniform. So my stick back to the NFL as a FU, no disrespect, Goodell, you know, we here now. I changed my name purposely in the offseason for them fining me, and not when I appealed it, they upheld the fine.
But that's your name. It wasn't at the time, though.
It wasn't at the time. So they 30 grand for altering the NFL uniform.
Right.
I got one for you. I'm gonna change it on purpose. So I changed my name in the off season. So now I put it on all my jerseys since y'all want to be rude and mean. Now at that time it was a stick to the NFL. Then it just turned into a whole brand.
Right.
At that point, and I just played it off like it was marketing, and it worked just as that.
What does the future wife call you? She call you Chad or Ocho?
Daddy. Hey, you married?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm looking to get about. Hey, I'm about to be 55. I'm about to be double nickel.
Double nickel, yeah.
Double nickel. So.
What you think about it though?
I want to get.
Wait. Let's pretend these cameras ain't here.
Yeah.
It's me and you, Bob Sharpe. I've been talking like they ain't here anyway. What your views on marriage? What do you think?
I would have loved to have gotten married earlier in my career, but my career was the most important thing. So I was no good. I was a terrible father. I probably was a terrible brother, a terrible son. I definitely was a terrible boyfriend because football was the most important thing. Right. I was consumed with that. And I was consumed with that because I wanted to get my grandmother and my family out of the conditions that I grew up in. And I said if I had kids, I didn't want them to spend 1 hour, let alone a year like I spent. So I focused on that. That was the only thing that mattered.
Right.
And I had a lot of women say they could be okay with being with number 2 to football. But when it came right down to it and they see how devout I was in it, they couldn't be.
Right.
And I said, okay. But now I started to realize as I've gotten older in my life, everything that I've accumulated doesn't mean anything if I don't have anybody to share it with. And it took me spending time alone to realize that, yes, Shannon, you're great at what you do. You're in the Hall of Fame. You accomplished a lot. But at the end of the day, who do you share it with?
But then this is the problem. How do you find the right person to share it with when it's still going to be what you have on the table?
Right.
Because this is you. Are they dealing with you for you or what you have to offer? Now, how you figure that one out? That's the hard part. Even at
well,
this.
I guess I'm going to have to find somebody that has something. And I tell people, look, I want someone to bring something to the picnic besides your appetite. I don't care if it's fork. I don't care if it's napkins.
Right.
I don't care if it's the mashed potatoes with raisins on top. But bring something to the picnic.
Right.
And so we can work from that.
Right.
I don't care if you have kids. I will graciously accept the kids.
Right.
Your family becomes my family.
Yeah.
Because like I would do for my family, if you come to me and say, hey, my mom and dad are having trouble.
Right.
Okay, your mom and dad ain't got no trouble.
Right.
Once you with me,
right.
Your family ain't got no, your mom and dad ain't got no trouble.
Right.
Your kids ain't got no, well, they're our kids.
Right.
Your kids, they're our kids.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
I like that. So we have the same mindset. Once that union, everything is united, it's one umbrella.
It's us.
All problems.
It's us.
Okay, I like that. But I like the part where you said, at least bring something to the table. Because I think that's an argument, something that we all have issues with as men. And I think some men that have money, men of wealth, really don't care about times when women have anything to offer because it allows them so much more control when they don't have anything because they have to rely on them.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Ego driven.
Yeah.
Ego driven.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need nothing, I got you.
Right.
And then they able to get away with murder because they got to rely on him.
No, I want you to have your own independence. I don't ever want you to become dependent on me.
Right.
Something I just want you to know that if something were to happen to me, you're more than taken care of.
Right, you good.
The family is taken care of.
Right.
And so that's the thing, Chad, over the last couple of years, I've sat down and realized I need to find someone to love me like I love football. I need to find someone that loves me like I love Undisputed. Love me like I love doing what I'm doing here on Club Shay Shay.
I like that.
So,
ladies, your number still the same? Listen, ladies, call Shannon 323-509-5423.
I got, look, but somebody's gonna have to accept me because I'm not an outdoor. I'm a very, very private person. When I say I'm private, I'm ultra private.
Right.
I'm not a red carpet guy. I'm not a post on social media.
Because red carpet?
This is what I've learned. People can't F up what they don't know about. The moment somebody knows about something, they'll try to mess it up. I don't care how, I'm doing my own thing. I don't bother nobody. Nobody can ever tell you Shannon Sharpe bothered them or Shannon Sharpe said anything bad about them. But the moment they know something about you, they'll F it up. So for me, I just stay to myself.
But not really, but if I'm not private. I'm very outgoing, especially with the kids, the missus. But if you're not doing nothing wrong, there's really nothing for anybody to F up.
No, but see, here's the thing. What's wrong is that people lie. People lie. And sometimes just the mention of impropriety is enough to sway people's opinion of you.
Right, right.
I don't need to have done anything, but somebody said I did something. And you know, even when it comes out, well, that didn't happen. Well, it could have happened. You know, he probably paid that person off. And then what?
Right.
Because they're never going to print the retraction like they ran with the original story. It's never as loud.
I like that. That's
so, a good one. I just say to myself, I'll find somebody. God, look.
Right.
When I get up, when I fall on my knees every night, Ocho, I ain't gonna lie. I pray. I ask the God to give me strength, guidance, and clarity. I thank Him every morning for allowing me to wake up in my right mind, blood running in my veins, and use of my limbs. But I ask for clarity, and He showed me a lot. And Tyler Perry had something. He says, sometimes people come in your life for a season. Everybody's not meant to be in your life for longevity.
Right.
He says sometimes people are like rockets. The boosters on the spaceship. They take you up and then they fall off because that's as far as they need to take you.
Yeah.
I listen to that quote every single day for like the last 6 months. And I realize that now. There are people that have been in my life that were only there for a short period of time and that was all God meant them to be. I also realized that people pushed me to a height and that was as far as they could push me. And now it's up to me to take it to go the rest of the way.
I like that. I like that. So I think about the people that have been in my life. And I always say that sometimes people are a lesson or they're a blessing.
Yes.
I think all the people that have been in my life at some point, whether they've been friends, whether they've been romantic, whether we've had kids together, everybody's been a blessing.
Right.
And I think I've been very, very, very fortunate. I've been very fortunate that everybody that I've dealt with at some point was a blessing. And I think that's why this ship sails so smooth.
Right.
We all work together as one unit, and I think that's very difficult for a lot of people to do. You know, obviously, we on some grown folk shit.
Right.
You know, around here to make sure the kids are good, the family's good, and if you ever need, like you said earlier, I said it earlier when we were talking. If anybody ever need, you good. You're set for life as long as it's in moderation and you're not trying to live this lifestyle that you know you can.
Yeah, if you're trying to live a lifestyle, you need to be able to afford that. And I can help you out here and there. You know, I got a daughter in med school. Hey. Okay, we good. You in med school? Okay, okay, I like that. We're gonna have a Sharpe, we're gonna have a doctor in the house.
It's hard to find it though, man. It's hard. It's hard to find, and I think that's a whole You don't stop looking, but that's a whole nother show. But I can keep going. I listen at you talk about the woman that you're engaged to that's become your wife, and I can feel the excitement. I can see the happiness that you exude. I saw her in all 5 seasons. Before you think about marrying somebody or being with somebody for a long time, you got to see him in all 5 seasons. You got to see him angry and upset. You got to see him mad. You got to see him broke. You got to see everything because you need to understand what you're getting, and then also understand. We think about relationships, we think about marriage, and think it's always peaches and cream. That ain't.
Nah, you got to date that person. Somebody told me, say, marriage, you got to date that person every single day.
Hey, and it's gonna be some days I can't stand this motherfucker. It's gonna be days like that. That's life.
Right.
That's life in general.
Right.
But I can't live without this individual.
Right.
If there was someone I want to wake up to every day and continue to build with, it's you.
It's not who you can live with, it's who you can't live without.
And like we could be building Legos. I want to build them Legos with you.
Damn. Man, so now you got me thinking. Now I'm about to get out here. I forgot that before I wanted to get you out of here. Celebrity boxing, you did that.
I'm not done. And I don't.
You can do it again.
Yeah, but listen. And I don't like when you say celebrity boxing because I ain't fought no celeb.
Oh, you fought a real dude?
Yeah, he fight bare knuckle. He fight bare knuckle.
You got a couple of good licks on the Chad. I thought you won.
I did win. What you mean? I just had to knock down the den because I was tired. I only had 3 weeks to get ready. That's Floyd's fault for giving me a short amount of time to get ready for a fight.
What you mean to get you a short amount? Well, how long?
3 weeks. A camp is 3 months.
The fight came together that quick?
No, I think somebody didn't. They tried to fill a spot. And they filled the spot real late. Asked me, do I want to move around? I said, yeah, I move around because I use boxing to get ready for every football season. Right. Yeah, not the fight.
So you had the fundamentals and the technique down for the most part.
That's why I looked the way I did until I got tired.
Right.
You know,
the boxer is a different animal.
Yeah,
you don't understand what tired is.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. They don't. And when people ask,
it's hard to hold your hands up like this here.
The whole time.
What's the first thing you do? You get tired, put your hands on your knees.
Down, which is when I got hit. Where was my hand at? Down. Yeah, but I'm supposed to. I haven't left the gym since 2021.
Okay.
So I've had a year under my belt. Continue to get technically good and savvy. There's a fight coming up. I don't know if I can say this. Can I say this? Hey, it doesn't matter. Caleb Plant and Benavidez have a fight coming up.
Yeah.
And I might
be on the undercard?
I might be on the undercard of that. I've gotten to the point where I've gotten that polish where I can be on the undercard. You got skills like that? Yeah. Yeah. I train with Bozy Ennis in Philly. You know Boots, obviously. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I heard of him.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And people ask, why are you doing boxing? What you doing with? I need the structure and fucking discipline that football provided.
Oh.
I need
it. You gotta have it.
I need it. I still have the urge to compete.
Right.
Now it's just in a different sport. Right. It's in a different sport. And if I don't put in the work, like on Sunday, I get exposed.
Right.
So if I don't put in the work,
right,
I want to get up and go.
Right.
I want to spar.
Right.
I want to run 6 miles Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I want to spar and do conditioning Tuesday and Thursdays. I want to swim. Because when I get in the ring, it shows up. If I don't do it, then I get exposed.
Yeah. It also shows up. This diet, I heard you say on several occasions, and you're like, man, I did McDonald's. McDonald's helped me do all this and all that.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that if I ate rice and chicken breast and I ate good salads, excuse me, if I put quality food in my body, because you're a Ferrari, you don't put low test gas in a Ferrari, you put the premium. You put low test gas food in your system.
Is that how you take it? I like that quote. Is that how you take it?
Yeah.
So I never been. You play? How long you play? How many years?
14.
You been hurt before?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm dead. Do you know why you got hurt?
Yeah.
Why?
I broke my collarbone. I got fractured my eye socket.
You know why?
Yeah, because it's a violent sport.
Nah, not because it's a violent sport. Because I played 11 years and never got hurt. You know why? You ate like a rabbit. That's why you got hurt. You ate like a rabbit. Your eye socket?
Yeah.
Collarbone? I ain't never got hurt. I got hit in my collarbone. I landed on it all type of ways. My body was able to.
You only weigh 22 pounds.
Who?
You.
When I played, I was 205.
No, you weren't 205.
I was. Who?
You.
No, but I never got hurt.
80 now.
It was your diet. It was your diet. You consuming all this healthy stuff, as they say, and you're playing a violent, barbaric sport.
Right.
The two don't even go fucking hand in hand. They don't go hand in hand. Never got hurt, never. And I played reckless at 195, like you said. Ran into Ray twice a year.
But just think,
Palomalo every year.
Just think about what if you had done. You'd have made it 10 Pro Bowls. You'd have been 10 times first team All-Pro.
Not really.
How do you know?
What I want people to stop doing is stop having people believing if you eat healthy, all of a sudden you're gonna be great. They love using LeBron and Tom Brady as an example. Listen, you ain't Tom Brady at home and you ain't LeBron. You have to have a foundation and a skill set and a DNA to go with it. Yeah. But I mean, the healthy thing is cool, but it
wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. And I understood what worked for my body.
Right.
And it's done wonders. And still to this day, I'm still active, still moving, with no injuries.
When current athletes reach out to you, what advice do you give them?
Football-wise or off the field-wise?
Whatever.
Most of the time, the athletes in today's game reach out, it's receiver stuff. And I'm ready to work.
Right.
Footwork, route running, I'm ready to work. Other than that, it's more financial advice.
Right.
And most of the time I say, man, listen, enjoy yourself, live your life. You worked hard to get to this point.
Right.
But understand the true value is not in the stuff that you can buy, purchase, and wear. The people that you're gonna meet right now are gonna be gone. They are seasonal. Honestly, that's just the truth. I just keep it real as I can.
You used to do a podcast. You were on IMF.
Hey, my boys.
Why aren't you on it anymore?
Listen, my schedule. It got tough. It got really tough. Man, I miss Brandon. I miss the entire I Am Athlete family. I had so much other stuff going on, and it demanded all of me. And I didn't want to give I Am Athlete just a little bit. Like if I'm gonna do something, I have to be embedded and engulfed in it so the people watching and I Am Athlete as well, they got all of me, and I wasn't able to give them that.
Right. Could they have made it financially, to give you all of you?
Yeah, financially, it wasn't an issue, and it wasn't the finances wasn't the issue at that point, because that's not why I was doing it. I was doing it because I love being on the platform. I love branding. Love them to death. And anytime the camera's on, I'm ready to go.
That's you.
Yeah, but I just had so much other stuff going on to where it was becoming too much.
Another one of your Florida brothers, Antonio Brown. We've seen some of the things that have happened to him over the last couple
AB, my baby.
If you could tell AB, so if you could talk to him, I don't know if you have, if you could.
I haven't bothered him, but I'm sure you're gonna see this.
Right.
That's my camera, yeah?
Yeah, that's your camera.
Baby, I love you forever. I love you. And that's it. That's it. I'm not one to scrutinize. I'm not one to talk about. If I am going to talk to him, if there's something I need to say, it would be said in private, you know? We've been together so long, even before football.
Right.
Before football.
Right.
We're from Miami.
Right.
You know, so that is one I will always hold down. We all make mistakes.
Right.
We all fall short of whatever it is in life that we want to do. During those times, I'm one that will lift my brother up.
Right.
You know, and not talk about him. I love him to death. Do I agree with everything he does? Absolutely not. Right. That's a part of life. That's a part of having a brother. You're not gonna like everything he does, but you sit him down, you talk to him, and let him know, look, let's try this way, because this route ain't work. Whatever it may be. I'm just speaking in general, but I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him because I've been on the go. But I'm gonna catch up with him one day.
What's next? You done bull riding, soccer, acting, boxing, racing horse, wrestling in the WWE, Dancing with the Stars. What is next for Ochocinco?
Swimming with orcas. That's my last.
Where they do that at?
Cabo, in New Zealand, in Norway. You can swim, you can scuba dive with the orcas, and I look forward to that. I really look forward to that. That is a dream of mine, as was being in the NFL. Obviously, I told you earlier I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I know everything there is to know about orcas, and people will say, "Oh my God, you're gonna get in the water with killer whales in the wild. They're gonna kill you. They're called killer whales for a reason." If you know anything about them, especially in the wild, you would understand that there have been no attacks and never have been. And in no way in New Zealand, they're no different than having dogs at home, because they just swim right up to you in the wild, and people are used to it out that way, and I want that experience. I'm sick of seeing videos of people in Norway and New Zealand living the dream that I want.
Wish you the best of luck with that.
You can go if you want to.
No, I'm good. I watch him and go to the zoo or something, and I see him in the aquarium. You know, Atlanta got a nice aquarium out there.
Yeah, they do. They ain't got no killer whale.
Yeah, they got killer. That's okay. I watch him on TV on Nat Geo.
Yeah, the second half of what's next is being a great husband. You're doing it the right way.
Man, I see the maturation that you've gone through. I see the metamorphosis. The stages of which you become, you was this and this, and now you're here. It's almost like a 180. You're full circle now.
You got to, because if I'm stagnant in life, then I'm not evolving. That's what's so great about.
There's a chance for me then. I'm gonna find me, Miss Right. And you did it. I know I can do it. If you can do it, I can.
Listen, with a face like this, if I can find somebody,
that's what I'm saying. That's
it's
exactly
possible for anybody.
Yeah.
You got somebody in mind? You can let them know why it's a perfect time.
I ain't got nobody in mind.
Don't do that. I can see it. Because you blink twice.
I ain't got nobody in mind.
You blink twice. Yeah, you do. I see. Let her know. Shay, talk to her.
I ain't got nobody.
Tell her.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got nobody.
Come on, don't do that.
I ain't got nobody. I ain't got nobody.
You do.
I don't. I really don't.
You do.
I don't. I really don't.
I bet. Where your phone at?
In my bag.
Oh, it's over there?
Yeah.
I bet if you was to grab your phone within the first 3 text messages in your phone, I guarantee you the one is right there in the top 3.
You're gonna see my assistant, you're gonna see my sister, you're gonna see my agent.
All right, let's stop right there. Like I just said, in the first 3, your assistant might be that one.
No. My assistant is my assistant.
See, that's the problem right there.
No. When you work for me, that's what you do. If whatever you do, that's what you do. If you my agent, you my agent. You my assistant, you my assistant. If you my massage therapist, I don't mix business and pleasure. I never have, I never will.
Maybe that's the problem, because you've never done it.
I know I'm not gonna do it.
All right. Well, you're gonna be in the same situation. So maybe we can revisit this 5 years from now.
Nah. My sister and I, we have a different type of relationship. It's
okay.
not,
I'm just listening. All right. I'm here to help. I'm a behavioral therapist. So I can help you in situations like this. That's another part of me I haven't been able to talk about.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, but I'm good. Right now I got dog. I got another dog. I'm getting another dog in a couple of weeks.
Dog?
Yep.
You into the dogs too?
Yeah.
How much you paid for them?
Don't
lie to me.
5. I got 5, and then I just paid another 5, and then paying another 3 to get him shipped over here. So about
what kind of
dog? One is a Pomeranian, and one is a South African Boerboel.
Boerboel?
Yeah, it's a South African Mastiff.
Okay. That's a funny combination.
Yeah. I still got the little one. That's about 13, a Pomeranian.
13?
Yeah, about to be 13 in the 26th of this month.
That's live.
That's what
What color? Black or blonde?
Well, he a fawn. He was a fawn color, but I got him cut like a lion.
For real?
Yeah.
So with the big.
Yeah, he got the big mane and his body shaved.
Yeah.
And then the little palm that's coming in a couple of weeks, he's black and tan.
Okay.
Named Teddy.
Wait, obviously you're not maiden, so you have 3.
No. They're all males.
Okay. You just like dogs.
I do. I'm an animal, grew up on a farm.
Right.
So I wish I could have a raccoon, but in the state of California, you cannot have a raccoon as a pet.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a different one.
Yeah. I've already researched it. I thought about it. I tried.
You could do it.
No, you can't.
Who gonna know?
Nah, I'm good. It's not good. It ain't worth it. I don't do anything that's gonna risk me going to jail or miss me.
I mean, having a raccoon ain't gonna risk you going to jail.
Yeah,
but I understand.
They come in and no. I like to follow the rules. I follow the rules.
I follow them too.
No, you can't have a raccoon in the state of California.
Okay.
Bruh.
We leaving?
We leaving. We done.
Shit, me. Man, you better ask some more shit. I ain't ready to go nowhere.
Man, we done been here for 3 hours.
How long
an hour and a half.
For real?
Yeah.
That's
How
it?
long we been going, CJ?
Yeah, almost 2. 2?
Yeah.
I'm
you
good.
Go.
I'm good at this shit. Come on, keep going.
Yeah, we got to go.
We leaving for real?
Yeah. Bruh, I appreciate this. Yeah, I do.
Where you going?
I got to go to work. I got to prep. You do realize I just don't get on air and just talk, right?
Let me get on the show tomorrow. Cause I can get on there and talk. I don't even need no prep.
You know what you need to do?
What?
You need to reach out to Skip or the producers.
I ain't reaching out to them. I want you to go in there. I just want to walk on set.
And do what you
sit there, and I can go through the A block, the B block, the C block, because I know every sport and everything y'all talking about.
Okay. I'm gonna tell them. Ochocinco want to come on the show tomorrow.
Don't even tell them that. Just let me crash the set.
You know what? TV don't work like that. I'm sure Dougie will explain that.
That's what makes it that much more fun. The fact that they don't know what's happening and I do it.
Well, they're not gonna let you in the building.
I can get in the building.
I'm pretty sure you can't.
My face, I can.
No.
You want to bet? I'm going to jail? Because I'm black?
Nah, man, nah.
This was good. This was good.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.